GTA Online has been around for over a decade and every day new players jump into it for the first time. If it's your first time, all the content in GTA Online might be a little overwhelming. Not only that, but GTA Online is very different now from what it was in 2013. There are now a bunch of businesses, properties, jobs, vehicles and weapons. However, Rockstar hasn't really updated their tutorial for new players to explain these changes. So in this video, I will explain the complete beginner guide for GTA Online in 2025. The best ways to earn a lot of money fast and build your own criminal empire in the best sandbox open world game ever created. When you first jump into GTA Online, you will need to create a new character. Once you did that, you have to play through the tutorial. Don't skip it cause it learns you the basics and it only takes about 30 minutes anyways. Depending on what platform you are playing, the tutorial mission will look different for you. For GTA Expanded and Enhanced, aka GTA Online on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, soon also on PC, you will get the Career Builder. Here you can choose what career path you want to start with. The best one is the nightclub owner. You will get a $4 million budget. You have to choose a business, warehouse, vehicles and weapons. You have to spend at least 3 million of the total 4 million. I suggest that you try to keep $1 million and not spend it all. A good starter vehicle is the Kuruma, or if you can afford it, the Night Shark. Keep in mind that you will be able to get the Kuruma for free once you complete your first heist. The Night Shark can take up to 25 rockets, so it's extremely armored. As a new player, your health will be low, so these are great choices. Then continue to the summary and start your career. However, if you are playing on the PS4, Xbox One or PC version of GTA, you will get picked up by Lamar at the airport. He will take you on your very first race and introduce you to different characters, Gerald and Lester. They will come in handy later. You do a couple missions for them, learn the basics such as the shooting mechanics, and you will earn some cash as well as RP. This is also where you get your starter car and weapon. Both will be trash, but soon enough you will be making enough money to upgrade it. The first thing that you should do when you load into GTA Online is open your pause menu, go to online, find a new session and start an invite only session. This is a lobby where you are the only player and this way you can't get griefed by other players. Now getting into the money grind. As a new player, you want money methods that don't require much. So we will start by doing treasure hunts. There are 3 in total, which will give you $825,000 in total. It will take you around 30 minutes for each. Also make sure you do your daily collectibles. You can find them if you open your interaction menu and go to all collectibles. G's Caches, shown on your map as a purple box. It's a package hidden inside an area. Once you find it, you will get cash, ammo and snacks. They refresh once every day. Then there are stash houses. They show up as purple houses with a target in the center. You get one of these per day at a random location. Inside the stash house there's a safe guarded by some gang members. Take them out and look for the code on the yellow note. There you can open the safe and collect the package. Completing a stash house will earn you cash and a free resupply for your businesses if they need to be resupplied. By doing all these things you will also earn RP, which is pretty much XP, and we need it to rank up. You need to rank up to gain access to better weapons, jobs and missions. At the start, the best ways to gain RP is by doing your daily collectibles as well as daily objectives. If you complete the daily objectives for 7 days in a row, you will get a cash bonus of $150,000 and 20,000 RP. If you complete the daily objectives for 28 days in a row, you will get $750,000 and 50,000 RP. Also keep an eye out for weekly updates. There are always RP and cash bonuses on certain activities. Usually it pays out double the amount, but sometimes even triple. Time trials, races, adversary modes and spinning the lucky wheel at the casino are also great ways to earn a bunch of cash and RP. The flight school is also an underrated method. You will learn to fly and max out your flying stat, and on top of that you will make about $230,000 in about 30 minutes. There are 3 more excellent ways to make money for beginners. First we have the Clocking Bell farm raid. This is essentially a mini heist. Just wait for Vincent to call you and then look for the yellow V on your map. So now go to the yellow circle and start it. There are 5 setups that you have to complete and then you can start the finale. The best thing about this money making method is that you don't have to invest any money. You don't get any money for these setups, but you will make a lot in the finale. Also a tip to complete the setups faster is to set your spawn location to a property close to the V on the map. I spawned in my office, but this is the best one to use, an agency. This saves you a lot of time. So I completed all the setups and now I can start the finale. There are 2 different ways you can complete this. You can do it stealthily or go all in. You decide that when doing the setup where you choose your weapons and equipment. So this also has good replayability because you can do it in different ways. I completed all the setups plus the finale within an hour. You will receive $500,000 for this. For an hour time, that's great money. If it's your first time completing the clocking bell farm raid, you will get another $250,000. The only downside with this method is that there's a 1 hour cooldown before you can start it again. The second money making method that I recommend are the first dose and last dose missions for the Acid Lab and Virtue Imani Tech Car. There are 6 first dose missions and you will get $600,000 for completing them. Then you can do 5 last dose missions which will earn you another $500,000. In the last first dose mission you have to steal this vehicle, the Brigade 6x6. You can later convert it to the Acid Lab, which is another business and a great way to make more money. In order to do so, you have to set up equipment. This upgrade will cost you $750,000, but you already made $600,000 for the first dose missions and $500,000 from the last dose missions. Once you have completed the last dose missions, you will get the Ocelot Virtue for free. Usually it would have costed you $3 million. This is one of the best Imani Tech vehicles. You can upgrade it with missile lock-on jammers and armor plating to increase the amount of damage this car can take. Don't worry about that too much yet, cause you need to own an agency with the vehicle workshop to buy these upgrades. Once you have set up the equipment in your Acid Lab, you can start making money with it, and this is how you do so. The way the business works is you either steal or purchase supplies. You bring them back to the lab and then after some time those supplies are turned into product, which you could then sell on for a profit. In order to purchase the Acid Lab, you have to first do the first dose mission storyline. There are 6 in total. Once you have done that, you can then purchase the business for $750,000. Now in order to make the most amount of money with the business, you have to get the equipment upgraded for $250,000, but first you have to unlock it. The way to do that is by completing 10 fully gun missions. You can start them if you go to Dex inside the Freak Shop or call him and select a fully gun mission. Once you have done that, you can then call up Mats or talk to him at the Acid Lab. Purchase supplies for $60,000 and after 1.6 batches of supplies you have a fully stocked Acid Lab, which you could then sell on for $335,000. If you decide to do that, you will be making about $60,000 to $70,000 per hour in profit, but if you want to make some extra money, you can sell in a public lobby. If it's a session with 25 or more players, that will give you a 50% high demand bonus. I believe that every player gives a 2% bonus and it's capped at 50%, which means that the highest bonus is in a 25 players public lobby. To get an extra 5% bonus, rename your Acid Lab. You can do that through your interaction menu. That will bring it up to $500,000 as your final sale, and this is completely doable because you're only ever guaranteed one sell vehicle. If you choose to go that route, you will be making about $100,000 per hour. That's the way I suggest to do it, and that's the reason why it's in the number 7 spot. It's a fairly passive business and it earns you about $100,000 per hour, which is really good. We can then move on to businesses where the big money is at. So don't waste your money on yachts and fancy cars, not yet. Buy a business instead, that will help you make money. GT Online is all about investing your money to make more money. Businesses can be split up in 2 different categories, active and passive. Active businesses only make you money when you're putting in the work. Passive businesses generate money for you in the background while you can do something else. Like I mentioned before, on Next Gen you can start with a business, but what if you don't have the Next Gen version? The free business on Old Gen is pretty much the Acid Lab, which we covered earlier. The third method is with the nightclub, which you should already have if you chose the nightclub owner career. This is the best passive business in GT Online. There's 2 ways to make money with it, with the first one being through the nightclub wall save. This is a save that has a set amount of money deposited into it every in-game day or 48 minutes IRL, depending on how popular your nightclub is. There are a few different ways to increase the popularity of the nightclub, but the 2 best are to throw out disturbances in the nightclub, which will pop up as a blue dot on your minimap, or to change DJs. When you change the DJ of your nightclub, your popularity will increase. The second way to make money is a little bit more complicated, but it's the bread and butter of the business, and that is through the warehouse. The warehouse is a section where you are able to hire and assign technicians to source product. When they source that product, it will then build up in a warehouse, and whenever you want, you can sell that product for a profit. Now, in order to make the most amount of money with it, you will want to of course hire all 5 technicians, which will cost a decent amount of money, and you will want to assign them to 5 specific type of products. But there's one catch for the warehouse, and that is if you want to assign a technician to source a specific kind of product, you have to own a corresponding business in the game. So with that being said, here are the 5 types of products that make you the most amount of money and the corresponding business you will need to own. First, assign a technician to cargo and shipments. You will need a CEO hangar or a CEO cargo crate warehouse in order to do so. Next, assign one to sporting goods, which you will need a bunker for. Third is South American imports, which will need a Coca-Cola lockup. Fourth being pharmaceutical research, which we will need a blue staff lab for. And fifth is cash creation, which you will need a counterfeit cash factory for. If you assign a technician to each one of those products and make sure that you have the equipment upgrades, you will earn about $50,000 total in warehouse stock each hour. Now the best part of the warehouse is that once you have done that and set it up, you don't have to do anything else except for the final sell mission whenever you decide to sell. All you have to do once you assign those technicians to those products is to just be in a session. So if you combine those two sections of the nightclub, you will be making $100,000 in almost completely passive income every single hour, which is the main reason why it's number 5 on the list. But the only reason why it's not higher is because in order to run the warehouse side of the business, you will need to own 5 other separate businesses, which will end up costing you close to the $10 million. Heists and contracts are one of the fastest ways to make money in GT Online, especially the KU Perico heist, because you can do it completely solo. However, before you can start the KU Perico heist, you first have to buy the Kasatka submarine. This will cost you $2.2 million. If you have been grinding all the money methods that I covered in this video, you should easily be able to buy it. Grinding the same heist over and over again can get a bit stale, so to switch things up, I like to do contracts. The best paying contract is Dr. Dre's contract from the agency. At the end, it pays out $1 million. Auto shop contracts are also a great way to make money. With this, you will be making around $250,000 per contract. When you are starting out, you should spend almost all your money on businesses and weapons to make more money. For example, the acid lab and the Kasatka to start the KU Perico heist. If you then have enough money to spare, you should start looking at vehicles and weapons to make things easier. In terms of weapons, I recommend the special carbon rifle, a sniper, sticky bombs, and preferably also the homing missile. When you are looking for things to buy to expand your empire, you should look at weekly discounts. Often businesses are 30% on sale, which is a great investment opportunity for you to make more money. Vehicles, weapons and upgrades are usually also on sale. So guys, that's all the information that you need to know to make a bunch of money as a beginner in GT Online. Money making guides related to this video will be in the description, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye bye!